Stephen Bedell II is in hot water right now. He is saying some spicy things in reference to the Charlie Kirk assassination. He has a short clip called The Prisoner's Dilemma that I want to review and break down because supposedly it explains some of his, what I would call, spicy slash bad behavior.
Gen Chat, I love how Gen Chat is still fighting. They're gonna be my primary source of stimulation when I'm looking off stream, okay? I hope they're still fighting. I hope that they're still fighting after I'm done with the stream, okay? I need to look at some kind of Gen Chat while I'm putting my CPU together, okay? By the way, my CPU came in today. I haven't put it inside my computer just yet. I took too long to come, okay? So you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna be putting it into my PC after I stream, alright? So that's the plan. Hopefully by tomorrow I'm gonna have by tomorrow's stream I'm gonna have my new CPU in my fucking and I still can't tell the ice gen. Don't worry about it, okay? Hopefully I will have my new CPU and fucking fan in. But yeah.
And I want to see if there's some kind of like logical backing for it. So let's watch this together. I'll be pausing intermittently and breaking it down.
I can't even track what they were fighting about. Oh, one server regular. So they're all server regulars, right? So one of the server regulars apparently turns out they were working for ICE as a janitor, okay? And they quit a month ago. But they didn't sign up to work for ICE. They signed up for a contractor's company. Yeah, they worked for a contracting company that was contracted by ICE. But in a way, you know, by osmosis, I guess you're kind of by association. You know, you're kind of low key working for ICE, but in a way, you know.
This sounds like a bad thing to say, and people don't like to think of it this way. But the reality is there are like 4 different worlds that we can live in, and it relates to like this concept of like a prisoner's dilemma. It's a
Oh yeah, and trust me, I told them to get in here to. I told them to get into voice chat. All right, to get into the weight room. By the way, 1.0 Hades is out, okay? I told them to get into the weight room. Yeah, it seems like they said no, okay? So, yeah, it doesn't seem like I got a yes from either of them, so. Well, what can you say? What can I do? Whoa, why is it so loud? Main volume, down. Okay, yeah. But, yeah, that's what's happening.
paradoxical setup kind of where
Zip claiming the janitor is guilty? Yes.
there is a positive outcome for 2 different players. However, both players basically become incentivized using logic to take the worst outcome.
Should I play a new save?
Collectively.
I should play a new save.
Who are caught, and the
Okay, I'm gonna play a new save, okay? I'm gonna play a new save. Had access to the ICE server room and didn't compromise. I don't know. I don't know the details, any of the fucking details. So to be fair, it's like, you know,
2 people who are caught.
Seven says, do their events have security? Yeah, they do. But Charlie Kirk had security, bud.
Are being interrogated by the police. And then
Smolin says, why is it okay for Elon for directly calling for violence, but Steven's edgy points are too far? Because Elon's call for violence aren't good. Svalin, dude, I swear to God, listen, I'm gonna be fucking mean, okay? I parasocially love you guys. I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that I got 300 viewers. You guys have been incredibly generous the entire past week. In my opinion, it sucks that somebody has to get murdered in order for me to make, you know, really good money. But you know, it is what it is. So, I feel weird about getting so much money from you guys when somebody gets killed. But it is what it is. If you guys enjoy the content, you feel like I'm a good lighthouse in the storm, then I guess I should make my peace with that. But the point is that nobody said that Elon Musk calling for violence was good, Stalin. You're jousting windmills. No one here said Elon Musk calling for violence or escalating the rhetoric is good. Nobody fucking said that. So don't pretend that anybody said that. Even on this panel where they're talking about Donald Trump, I almost guarantee you if you say
I feel like when Counterpoints is doing solo monologue commentary, it feels very how do you say? It feels very performative. I don't know. I can't really place the I can't really place the pulse on it. I don't know. Like even when I'm going hard on Counterpoints, I feel like I'm not. I don't know. He really wants to beat the allegations. Counterpoints really wants to beat the allegations of being a fucking Destiny, like fucking sweeper or something. I don't know. But hey, what can you do? Wait. Oh. Okay. Wait. All right. Sorry.
Said, hey, do you think Donald Trump should calm shit down a little bit? You know, like I'll go ahead and defend it, or I'll go ahead and de-escalate. But do you think Donald Trump should de-escalate? I almost guarantee you, if you weren't pressing them while being a dick about it, they'd be like, yeah, everything's too hot right now. We need to calm down a little bit. I almost guarantee you those people would say that shit. Even fucking Jack Posobiec, who's a fucking loser. So, sorry. Doesn't work on me, Stalin. Doobie says, yeah, I don't know how Z intends to make any real progress with I'll Mock the Widow guy at the head of her events. Well, and then what happens if the I'll Mock the Widow guy gets shot at your events? That's going to be super bad.
And the question is do you cooperate with the police and rat out your friend? Or do you not cooperate with the police? I shouldn't be using cooperate like this. Or do you not work with the police and then you cooperate with your friend? That's supposed to be phrased, right? Okay, we'll say prisoner 1 cooperates and prisoner 2 cooperates, okay? If this happens, then we'll say that both people get sentenced to 1 year in jail, okay? This is what happens if both people cooperate with each other, not with the cops. They cooperate with each other, right? This is the cooperative thing. They cooperate with each other, and so what happens is they don't rat on each other, and the cops don't have enough evidence to lock them up for the more severe crimes, so then they both go to jail for 1 year. In another world, you have both of them betraying each other.
Oh, look, it's Doobie? Yeah,
and
no
then
kidding.
Both of them end up in jail for
classic
3
People
years.
come on. Really?
Okay.
How do you
And
know
then-
that?
Okay, says, does anyone else think Nathaniel being a groiper is just a way to keep him safe if someone tries to take out Destiny? Distance makes him not a target. That just crossed my mind a few days ago. I don't think so. I think it's teenage rebellion. I don't think he's thinking that far ahead. Clizzard for 5 says, Steven really feels like he's falling into the Boondocks, a soft N-word moment where he is fighting needlessly hot instead of any self-control. Well, I mean, it's been a spicy week, so I don't begrudge him that. Again, I just disagree with. I disagree with his tactics. I disagree with his optics. I think they're bad. So maybe this will change my mind. I can't imagine it'll change my mind, but
I feel like, dude, I feel like there's just so much like fucking infighting, even on Steven's own fucking side. Like it just feels so scuffed. Like how could you be like POV, you're Connor, right? Like POV, you're Connor, right? Your friend is getting dogpiled by the most powerful people on Earth. And you have to virtue signal to your stream how much you disagree with them. I mean, it's fine if you want to disagree with him, but like, just know that you don't operate in a vacuum, right? You don't operate in a vacuum, like Jesus.
we'll see.
And in one where you
It is self-defeating because he's a never Trumper as well.
have one
Though to be fair, right? Is it like, to be very fair, Counterpoints is going really hard against people like Rob Noor on social media, but they also have like personal animosity between each other. So I don't know, maybe I can forgive that part or something. But yeah, I don't know. Like at least the way I kind of look at it is it's a fucking mixed bag. Like Connor is just a weirdo, honestly. Like I don't think he's a bad person. I just think he doesn't know what he wants to be, right? He doesn't know what he wants to be. Like he says that he has principles. He says that he has like all of these strong standards or something, but to me at the very least it seems like he's very wishy-washy on whether or not he wants to throw his entire weight behind Steven or not, right? So he's like dancing on the fence. He can't appease the anti-fans and he can't appease the fans either, the way it comes off to me, outside of being like a sympathetic ear to Steven when Steven is feeling down, right? His emotional support. But yeah,
betrayal and one cooperator. The betrayer guy ends up in jail for 0 years, and the betrayed guy ends up in jail for, okay, something like this. Okay, I'm drawing this out, sorry. Okay, prisoner's dilemma, okay? If both people cooperate with each other and neither of them do any defecting from each other, they don't betray each other, both of them go to jail for 1 year, all right, if they cooperate. If both of them defect or betray each other, they both go to jail for 3 years. Okay. The guy who cooperates with the police, the guy who works with the police and defects from his partner, he gets 0 years, and then the other guy gets 5 years. So when you first come to this model, I think the kind of like the on a first glance, you might think like, okay, well, both of us should obviously cooperate because we both cooperate, then we both get 1 year in jail,
traction?
which is
Yeah, I mean he's gaining traction, but it's like I hope that YouTube doesn't ban him soon. It seems like YouTube is considering, like, if I was YouTube right now, it sounds like they would be personally trying to deliberate whether or not they want to ban Steven. Hopefully that's not the case, but you know, who knows, right? I don't know.
Decent. That's an okay outcome, right? But if you know that the other
Whoa.
person is incentivized,
When did this turn
Okay,
into a fucking...
Ved Sunil and Doobie. I swear to God, Ved
Oh.
Sunil. You don't have to dox yourself on
Interesting.
stream, but where do you live? Do you live on the West Coast? I think you and
Like,
Doobie
this
need to go
is-
get a fucking
it-
beer because every
a
time that you guys
laser
are in my
now.
chat, Ved Sunil says,
Like, this is a right click is a laser now. It's no longer a projectile. It's like it's just a laser. Interesting. I mean, it's still a projectile if you do a charge attack. But yeah,
Doobie is an unserious kooky tanky. He really doesn't matter compared to D. And then Doobie is just like in here being like, I think the Red Sea crisis is based. Like, dude, just let him do his thing. Like, I get that you hate him, but at this point, you guys need a smoochie kiss.
to cooperate, and you're incentivized to cooperate, but you know,
Sorry, real quick. Witho says, hi, Counterpoints Politics. I'm from the DGG world. Just want to say I appreciate your fervor to take your party back from the freak show. I was raised with similar notions of republicanism. Godspeed. Thank you, Witho. I appreciate you. Now,
Well, weapons and
I'm already
staff.
seeing a problem here. Okay?
It's just
The whole
staff.
point is that we're in this shit together. All right?
Huh.
So we have to believe, if you want to avoid civil war, as a matter of fact, fuck this. I'm going to pull up my own paint, even if I totally fuck it up.
Oh no.
So let's
Why?
say that
I'll quit YouTube if they ban Steve. I already want to quit it. Okay. I mean, you can do it as a form of protest, but just make your message clear, okay?
let's not analogize this to the prisoner's dilemma. Let's go ahead and make it more specific to our current situation. Why not? So we have the current United States of America, and we have the current toxic level of our discourse, and we have, let's say, person 2C, person 2B, person 1C, person 1B. I don't know what this is. So let me just go ahead and do my own thing.
I'm
Let's do person 1.
I'm rusty. I'm really rusty. Oh no.
Oh, there's 4 scenarios. I guess I'll copy his thing, but I don't know what the
I'm
acronyms
really rusty.
are.
I'm sorry. You're
Well,
gonna see some horrible.
no, I shouldn't
gameplay,
copy
okay?
his acronyms then because I think they're
Also, this game is
all
like
right.
much
So let's
harder
say
now as
the
well,
outcomes
so-
are. Let's do P1A, person 1A, person 1B. Is that what he's doing? Person 2A, person 2B.
How's the
Oh,
PC?
no. I got it.
Nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna put the CPU together afterwards. There's an e-girl imitating Steven and shit on Twitch. What? No fucking way. Can you link me?
Sorry.
What game is Foods playing? It's Hades 2.
Person 2.
Oh, spoilers? Oh no.
Pete.
Oh, no, hold on. Don't worry. This is a new save. This is a completely new save, okay? Don't worry about it. It's a completely new save, okay?
2B.
It should be fine,
I think this will work.
right?
P1B. Okay, so let's say that these are political tribes. This is the left and the right, all right? And we have the scenario where we can cooperate and we can avoid civil war. That's the option. Then this is civil war.
If I haven't played the first one, should I jump straight to 2? No. The first one is still like I think that if you really enjoy this type of game, you should play the first one first because you'll get a lot more context for what's going on. You'll understand a lot of the characters a lot more. You'll understand a lot more things. Okay. So yeah, I would recommend completing the first one at the very least. And the first one is fun too. Also, like Hades 2 is Hades 2 is a much harder game than Hades 1. Hades 1 feels like the tutorial game to Hades 2 on God. All right? Like legitimately, it feels like the tutorial game to Hades. Like Hades 2 is like unironically harder. You're better off playing Hades 1 first, okay?
/ troubles. I should just put, so I'll just put civil war for the sake of understanding. This is civil war. And then this is, what is it? Is this if they snitch on each other? Yeah. So, I don't
Violence?
know. Mutually assured destruction.
Wait, civil... No. Dude, Connor got the graph wrong. Dude, Connor got the fucking graph wrong. Dude, oh my god. Dude, he's such a, oh my god. How could you, dude, how could you, like, say that Disney's Prisoner Dilemma is wrong, but you don't even understand what the fuck he's talking about? Bro. The, if P1, if person 1 betrays, and P2 doesn't betray, person 1 betraying gets to have their genocide. It's genocide, right? This is the worst result, is genocide, right? P1 betrays P2, which means there's genocide. P2 betrays P1 in this scenario, it's genocide, right? However, P1 betrays, P2 betrays, it's civil war, right? Because at least they're fighting against each other mutually, right? They both know what they want. They want to fight each other for power, right? Like, that's what's going on here. So yeah, like in this scenario, right? In this scenario, yeah, like even though you generally want to avoid everything, the objectively worse outcome for both of them is the genocide. So because this is genocide, this is civil war, right? Yeah, like dude, oh my, why is he such a moron? Dude, bro. he doesn't even get it right. What the, he doesn't even get it right. Like,
so I think what we're going to end up doing through the game, through the gamesmanship, is that ultimately what Steven is going to say is that it would be better to engage in mutually assured destruction rather than allowing civil war.
Yeah, because he isn't getting it right.
But this is true on the right wing as well. If I'm jumping ahead, please let me know. The way that the left and the right feel, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and delete this shit. I can label these left and right. The way that the right wing feels is that they've been backed into a corner culturally, academically, et cetera, et cetera. And so as a result, they have nothing to lose but their chains. Now they're stupid for believing that. I'm taking a screenshot
of this.
Because oftentimes right-wingers are disproportionately wealthy, well-to-do, middle class, et cetera, et cetera. So they're stupid for thinking that they have nothing to lose. But that's the way that they feel, right? And then it's the same thing with the left. We got trans people, we got black people, we got Hispanic people. They all feel like they're in an existential crisis. So if we cooperate, if the left and right cooperate, we avoid civil war. If the left and right fight each other, but neither one puts down their arms, then we result in the mutually assured destruction where, yeah, sure, a few people might get killed, but we avoid civil war. And then if the left unilaterally puts down its arms and the right wing doesn't, then we have civil war where the left loses. And if the right wing unilaterally puts down its arms and the left wing engages in civil war, then the right wing loses. But that's not the situation. That's not even the morality that we're calling for. I brought this up yesterday or the day before.
Dude, he's actually such a meathead. Like, I feel like I feel like Connor is like the definition. I feel like Connor is like the definition of, oh, I read all these philosophy books, but I'm not like really, I'm not being a normal person about it, right? I'm being really autistic with all these philosophy books, and I'm going to recite to you like the pages I memorized word by word. But at the same time, I don't actually get the concept of what I'm reading, right? It's kind of like you flipping through a biology textbook and you're reading the words, but you're not actually processing what the paragraphs are saying. Like, I feel like ultimately this is like who Connor is. I think Connor is a book nerd. I think he is unironically a book nerd, but the problem is that he seems to miss the point. I feel like a lot of the time, somehow. I don't know. It feels like he's not really like actually, you know, processing what he's reading or processing what other people say. In a way, right? I don't know.
What I'm calling for is I'm not asking the left to unilaterally disarm. What I'm asking the left to do is I'm saying that the right wing is currently not interested in playing fair or engaging in diplomacy. But the left wing should engage in diplomacy. And they should also be ready that if the right wing, instead of bringing up their hand in friendship to negotiate a new American peace, and the right wing instead brings up the gun of civil war, the left wing brings up the gun of civil war.
I don't get this. I don't. Is this saying that the left will always try to negotiate for peace and the right will always go to the gun or the peace option, period? Like, it's 50-50?
And shoots the right wing in the face, metaphorically, of course. So when we're dealing with this prisoner's dilemma, what I'm trying to do, which is actually really interesting that he was able to highlight it so quickly, is I am trying to do this situation as much as possible. Whereas I'm kind of arguing that Steven's rhetoric...
Okay, thank God. I thought he was gonna draw a fucking swastika, okay?
Pushes us, green, pushes us more towards a right-wing dominant civil war.
How?
Because his rhetoric is so abrasive, so repulsive to the person of average morality that he's basically making it easier for the left wing to surrender.
Yeah, he's just straight up not getting it. Okay, cool.
In my opinion. Now,
He's
maybe you
just
guys
straight up not
disagree.
getting it.
Maybe you're
Oh
saying,
my
like, no, this is
God.
actually emboldening liberals and
Bro.
leftists to not disavow bad behavior. Therefore, we're going to end up in the mutually assured destruction category box. But I don't agree. I think he's pushing us more towards this box than he is towards this box or this box.
Dude, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Civil war is the same as mutually assured destruction. Why are you pretending civil war and mutually assured destruction is different? Right? It's not supposed to be civil war. It's supposed to be it's not supposed to be civil war. It's supposed to be fucking yeah. It's supposed to be genocide. The other one is genocide, right? Does that make sense? Like, he's not even getting it right. Like, why can't Connor just like open up Steven's fucking stream and just copy the graph verbatim? Like, that's kind of what I did, no? Like, what I did is that I just simply screenshotted the graph, and then like I just simply fucking posted it, right? I don't fucking know. Like, why? What does he isn't even getting it right? Oh my God, I'm gonna lose my mind, dude.
He's gonna go to jail for 0 years, and you're going to jail for 5 years. Well, now you're in an awkward spot where you know he's incentivized to defect because it's going to be better for him, but it's going to be significantly worse for you. And so you're kind of in a situation where you should also defect. So you can.
Sorry, real quick. Czar for 35 says, or excuse me, MMA Art says Czar for Czar Money.
Yay.
Says, Connor, can you please talk some sense into this man? I don't even disagree with him. He has to learn to be smarter and play the optics game, though. I mean, I'm with you. I'm trying.
Kind of like deductively reason out that both of you basically have to defect against each other. And then that leads to both of you in jail for 3 years. This is obviously not a great outcome. So it's kind of like a weird way that when you look at these models where you can't enforce cooperation, I mean, there's a ton of like things that you can take from this on, how do you enforce cooperation? You have to find ways to link, cause.
It's fairly incoherent. He seems to be presenting a civil war as if it's a fantastical hypothetical where only one side wants to fight, but then it's not a civil war, it's just genocide. Exactly. Fucking exactly. And by the time you realize that the other side wants to genocide you, it's already too late, right? You can't be a Democrat. Like, for example, if you're a Democrat and you're pretending the right wing doesn't want to genocide you, you're delusional, okay? They, like, whatever they could get away with right now, they could. And they're constantly, like, testing the waters to see how much they can get away with, right? So the thing is that to me, that's the sign of unhinged behavior. That's the sign that they're willing to go to extremes to accomplish what they want, even if it means completely genociding the other side. Black bagging migrants, locking up people, going after journalists, attacking law firms, right? Revoking access to law firms, like piling on to the Supreme, using the Supreme Court to their advantage, using the federal courts to their advantage, constantly making lawsuits. Like, these are not the actions of a civil discourse. These are not the actions of a proper administration, right? This is the sign of administration with fascism in mind, right? They want there to be some form of, let's take a break from Destiny. My entire content's that, okay, all right, whatever, that's fine.
Blah, 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 right?
Did you know we watch Piers Morgan panels? I think we're fine, okay? Jesus.
My opinion, in U.S. politics, civility, okay? This is where we kind of want to be, all right? We want to be here where things are civil, all right? Meaning we're not killing each other or having a...
Yeah, Hans Mayer says, Steven has the highest viewership since last year right now. Yeah, but you understand that, like, that highest viewership is coming out of price, right? You understand
what
that?
Price? His soul?
Opinion.
Don't say
in
his
U.S.
soul,
politics.
Please don't say his soul.
Civility, okay? This is where we kind of want to be, all right? We want to be here where things are civil, all right? Meaning we're not killing each other or having a bad time. And
I love Percy Jackson.
This would be like ideal.
This is like Percy Jackson.
Okay? Right now,
oops,
at best, we're in this world, okay?
Grassroots 20, Hobbes, not my dog, the philosopher, outlines the prisoner's dilemma, but he does it in the context of the state of nature, which he views as a condition where might is righteousness and self-justifying.
I don't know, Destiny's messaging and framing is probably aggressive to a fault. No, to a fault. I think it's aggressive, but not to a fault. I think that ever since Steven's appearance on the Piers panel, he's been making waves. Like every single subsequent Piers panel. Like even if Steven is not there, what I kind of this is that all the fucking liberal, like dark sources on the panel are getting dogpiled by the other people. They've all been doing much more aggressive showings. They've all been doing much more aggressive and like effective. Okay. Sorry. So as I was saying, right? As I was saying, right. So as well. Okay. Listen, fuck you guys. It should be fine. It should be fine now, right? It's fine, right? Okay. So sorry. As I was saying, okay. Ever since Steven's appearance, like the people, maybe this is just a coincidence, but all the other liberal commentators on the panels that followed Steven have been doing pretty good showings on average now. Like the thing is that they no longer sound cucked. They no longer sound like they're constantly apologizing for their side, right? It sounds like Steven's panel has instilled something fierce in them, right? A demon of sorts. So the thing is I understand that you might think it's working to a detriment, but where exactly is the detriment? Because you have to show me where the detriment is coming from. Meanwhile, I can show you that, like, to anybody else who's watching, it seems as though that all the other liberal commentators are growing more of a backbone ever since Steven's fucking blow up, right? Yeah, like that's the way it comes off to me. But maybe I'm wrong, you know, who knows? But I'm just telling you what I saw. All right, yeah.
Interesting. I guess I have to read more Hobbes. I'm gonna speed him up a little bit. He's a little bit slower than usual, but it's because he's drawing.
This here is not the worst world. We're just pretending that it is. Okay.
Nice.
The reason why it doesn't make sense for Democrats to disavow over and over and over again when Republicans won't do it is because there is a worse world for this, and the worst world is, I'll call it genocide. I mean, you can put whatever you want here: genocide, absolute violence, one-sided firing squad, whatever, execution. There is a worse world than this one here, and that worse world is one side enacting violence.
True. I'm with this. I understand it.
And the problem is that.
Wait, but Connor, you're getting it wrong. Like, your graph is wrong. Like, your graph is wrong, Connor.
The Republican rhetoric.
Your graph is
pushing
wrong.
us in that direction. Where the Republicans want to push us here, right? Where it's a Dem.
Oh my god.
And they do that by already trying to say that we are here, right? You've heard the Republicans say over and over again, it's all left-wing violence, it's all left-wing violence, it's all left-wing violence. And they do that as a call to their own side, but they need to respond with violence. So the reason why I'm not sympathetic to people saying we need.
Connor, if you're listening, please try harder, okay? For the love of God, please try harder, okay? You're not trying hard enough, okay? Connor, I know you watch my videos, okay?
Need to turn down the temperature. Well, just because the other side isn't doing it doesn't mean we can't. No, fuck you. We're not in the worst world right now. This world, right?
Okay, yeah, sorry, I have to save this and I have to make a new one, okay? Civility, violence, genocide, genocide. Let's get that going. So, file save as prisoner dilemma 1. Yeah, sorry, I hate to say it, but Steven's wrong, okay?
What?
Let's make a new one.
Don't even understand what he's saying.
Listen, guys, I'll admit it. There's a certain incentive, I guess, to disagree with Steven. Just to be like, oh, I'm my own guy. I'm my own man.
No,
and
you're just retarded.
Always this thing in the back of
my
my head.
No,
like,
you're just retarded.
What can I disagree with Steven on? But I'm just going to tell you straight up, this is easy to disagree on. Because I think his analysis is fine. I think his prescription sucks ass. Genocide left. Genocide right. Okay, we're never going to get here, by the way. And the reason why is because you can't. You can never fully kill a political binary. These things are almost inherent to nature. Temperament.
No, wrong. Wrong. Oh my god. I mean.
Yeah, true.
Oh my goodness. Foodshops.
Yo, Jose, thank you so much for the 1 gifted membership. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, Quella got it. Nice. But I just want to say that, like, dude, you can never fully kill one side. I agree with that. But they're going to do the utmost to destroy as much of the other side as possible, as unhingedly as they could, right? They're already doing it through stochastic terrorism. Donald Trump is already inspiring so much fucking violence. It's insane, right? So the thing is you're calling out Steven, which is fine, I guess, in private, right? But like the way it comes off to me is that it just feels like you're virtue signaling to your fucking conservative, moderate crowd. Like that's how it feels right now. I don't think you're actually giving Steven good faith. Right, you're not treating his argument in good faith because you don't understand his argument. Actually, could you even call it bad faith if he's like too retarded to even get the argument? I don't even fucking know. Okay, let's just say he's being good faith, but he's just retarded. Okay, because that's the only way I can do to describe Connor. All right. But the thing is that no, the goal is genocide. Right, the goal of like the goal is genocide from the right. Right, like the right is trying to genocide the left. But the right, in order to reinforce their message, they want to tell everybody that the left also wants genocide, right? Because obviously, if you want genocide of one side, you want to have genocide of your side being in the right, right? You want to feel like your genocide is worth it, right? So for example, they're going to use language like pedophiles, call everyone radical left pedophiles, call for the death penalty for Joe Biden, like Charlie Kirk did, right? The thing is that in all, like, this is their prescription. Their prescription is death for the left. Full unadulterated death and culling of anybody who doesn't fit their incredibly far-right Christian nationalist like perspective. Okay, like the thing is that that's the reality. Okay, otherwise why the fuck would Charlie Kirk call for Joe Biden's death? That's insane, right? So again, they want to get here. They want to have a genocide perpetuated by the right, okay? However, they want to paint it as if they are civility. They want to paint themselves as the civil party. The right wants to paint themselves as the civil party, but so they want to paint the left as the genociders, okay? So by painting the left as the genociders, you get to argue for your version of genocide. You get to argue for your version of violence and genocide, okay? Does that make sense? That's the right's rhetoric. The left's rhetoric is we are actually acting in civility. By action, we are acting in civility, denouncing denouncing violence of all kinds, right? Denouncing any kind of shooting or action that is bad, right? They are the ones demanding civility, right? And practicing civility. However, they refuse to entertain violence, right? Because they want to stay above it, right? They want to, when they go low, we go high, right? So that is like trying to not go into violence, right? However, the problem is that the right wants to paint them as genociders, right? When they're actually practicing civility. While the right uses civility as a mask in order to hide behind when they're actually conducting genocide, right? So the thing is Connor doesn't really understand it. Obviously, if we have to fight, if everyone recognizes the gravity of the situation, it would be violence, but violence is a preferable alternative to genocide. Violence is a preferable alternative to an execution, right? Because yeah, that's what it is, right? That's what it is. Anyway,
Mentally, left versus right. Left is carrying.
Yeah, the right isn't even demanding civility; they're demanding blood. I've seen some kind of left politician, public figure person, apologize, I guess, for a statement that they made on Charlie Kirk, and Donald Trump Jr. basically quote tweeted that and said, "No, you're lying even now." Like even when that person denounces violent rhetoric against Charlie Kirk, Donald Trump Jr. still doesn't accept the apology and says, "No, I don't care about your fucking apology. You are a traitor to the United States. Fuck you, and you deserve to die." Like what the fuck? Okay, not saying that he literally said that, but I'm just saying like he didn't accept the apology. Why the fuck wouldn't you, right? If you're really acting in civility, wouldn't you accept the apology? But they're not. They're not accepting the apology. The son of the most powerful man in the world right now does not accept the apology, right? So just think about the state that we are in right now. This is the reality. Just wake up to it, okay?
About
Jesus.
people more than institutions, and right is caring about institutions as a vehicle in order to care about people. There will be no time at which point you ban every person who thinks that you should defer to traditional institutions, and there will be no time in which you ban people who care about people more than they care about institutions. That's not going to happen, okay? So Stephen is right in that this is where we want to be. This is good, all right? And then Stephen is also right. Oh, sorry, let me make the screen. That this is bad and we shouldn't do it. But we also shouldn't have a complete abdication of political power from the left, and we shouldn't have a complete abdication of political power from the right. But what I'm arguing, again,
Okay,
because I
he's
feel like
getting
this
a
is
little
almost like a
bit.
fucking straw man of what anybody is calling for. Nobody is
little bit,
calling
maybe.
for you not to be capable of violence. Maybe this is just like a liberal thing. I have no fucking idea. I can't remember the last time that I've ever said anybody like, listen, liberal.
No, but the problem is that the right is conducting genocide and they're conducting violence already. They're doing it already. Like, it's very clear to me they are on the path to genocide, right? They're doing enough violence and enough, like, institutional power reformations and utilizing the power of the president and power of the Congress and power of the judiciary in order to carry out a legal version of genocide. So the thing is that if they're really aiming for this, if they're pushing towards violence and trying to make their final goal the genocide, why the fuck would you not also entertain the same kind of dialogue and rhetoric as the right is doing, right? So that's what Destiny is advocating for. He's advocating that a world where everybody wakes up and it's just civil war is a preferable outcome to genocide, right? I don't
should
know.
never know or train how to engage. I think I've said the opposite almost my entire life. Liberals and the right wing and all people of good conscience need to be capable of righteous violence, and they need to be engaged in civility with anybody who's willing to engage with civility about them. It's literally reciprocity. I can't believe that I have to articulate a concept as simple as reciprocity, but reciprocity is the name of the game. It's like a Jordan Peterson concept. It's you being harmless is not virtuous. Being capable of great violence but exercising restraint is virtuous. Strikos. This is something you guys take massive shits on Jordan Peterson. Meanwhile, Steven is completely misunderstanding something that's like fundamental to the way that our country is going to operate for the next 5 to 10 years. So unless he like completely reworks this drawing in order to say exactly what I'm saying, I'm going to disagree with him. And not only am I going to disagree with him, I'm going to think it's kind of stupid. What was this? This was the prisoner dilemma. I don't know if I spelled it right too. Sorry, I'm going to see what else he says, but unless he changes his tune, I think he's absolutely fucking wrong.
Which is this part of the prisoner's dilemma box. This world is preferable right here to this world or this world. And the one-sided calls for just us, we just need to disavow. No, I'm sorry.
No, Stephen, no one is saying, oh my God, you think disavowing violence means unilateral surrender? Why? Why does disavowing extrajudicial and extralegal murder mean a unilateral surrender? That does not make sense.
It is. Dude, the thing is that, like, no one is literally gonna hop on air and say, yeah, we're gonna unilaterally surrender. That's fucking ridiculous. The reason it's called a unilateral surrender is because when you disavow violence, when your entire side is being framed for the assassination and you're disavowing the violence, what you're actually doing is that you're basically confessing that you're saying, oh yeah, yes, the left actually does want to do this and I disavow it, right? Because their narrative is that the entirety of the left, on average, wants genocide and they want violence. They want the Great Replacement and they want the white genocide, right? This is their narrative. So the thing is yeah.
To me whatsoever.
The president of the United States, without having any fucking idea at all who the actual shooter is, has already blamed one side, okay? They've already blamed one side. I don't want to be in this world.
When, like for example, if I ask anybody, right, is it do you, like, for example, I say, do you disavow the rape that you did back in 1990? Right? If I told you, do you disavow the rape you did in 1990? Do you know what, like you wouldn't say, yeah, I disavow it. What? You realize what you just sound like, right? You sound like you actually did rape, but you regret the fact that you raped. When in actuality, you probably did not rape in the first place, right? Like, you realize how you sounded to the normie, right? Or to the normal person. Oh, do you disavow the shooting that you did towards 13 like children that you did? Like, do you disavow the 13 children that you murdered? Like your murder spree of 13 children? You're not gonna say, yeah, I disavow. Like, what the fuck? You realize you sound insane and unhinged, right?
Or this world. I would rather be in this world. As much as it sucks, it's not a good world to be.
Yeah. That would be where it's what I labeled as mutually assured destruction.
In. It sucks. The best world would be this one. But in the prisoner's dilemma, one person can't get you here. Both players independently have to make decisions. And there is no virtue in making this decision over and over and over and over and over again, especially when
You're not doing, no one's done that. The left wing has not unilaterally surrendered all political, institutional, and social power for the past decade. This is a
Well, would like, for example, going back to my your murder spree of like 13 children. If someone brought that up to you and said like, oh yeah, do you disavow the murder spree that you did of 13 children? You might as well be unilaterally surrendering, because you're disavowing, you're number one, you're admitting a horrible action that you just agreed that you did, okay? So you automatically accepted their premise of you murdering 13 children. So you admit that premise. And second of all, you're disavowing it. How is this not a surrender? This is a surrender, right? Like, that's what it is. You're accepting the premise and you're disavowing it. That's a surrender. Yes. What else? What else would a surrender look like?
complete misreading of the past decade of political history. I don't agree with this at all. I don't think the left has chosen the zero-sum right-wing wins game over and over and over again. I think it's total fucking cope.
It's not just you playing, but you're making decisions that impact your group as well. You can't constantly advocate for this world and pretend that you're being moral, because the other player has no incentive, because they're benefiting the whole time. This is what I say when I talk about like making fun of people who die and
Nobody's saying that.
all this stuff, is that it seems crass and it seems bad, but there's a reason why people dehumanize people, because it's effective for your political movement. It works. It does. There's a reason why people have done this historically and why they continue to do it, why the Republicans continue to do it. So in my mind, it is immoral to ask this or whatever when that's what Republicans are pushing us towards. Both sides have to be willing to come up here. Civility can't happen on one side.
True. This is why this is my model. I've had this model since 48 hours ago, okay? So you must be capable of civility with every person who engages in civility with you. You must be capable of violence and engaging with anybody who's engaging with violence with you. But this should be righteous, defensive, and legal violence. It should not be assassination, which I would put in the genocide left, genocide right thing. That's where you're trying to create a scenario in which you are winning and the opponent is losing. That's why they don't want to engage in that game. So even within Steven's own framework,
is Connor starting his anti-fan arc? No, he's always been like this, okay? Like, Connor has always been doing fucking weird shit like this. Like, he's been doing this since forever, okay?
like I don't agree with what he's saying. And then also, he's saying that he prefers mutually assured destruction over civil war. But who can say, like, during a war, why are you incapable of being magnanimous with your enemies? That's where you're being civil. Civil war. Why can't we be civil during the civil war? Is my question to Stephen.
What? Sorry, I must have missed something, because I just heard something so mentally retarded. I feel like not even this fucking meathead blockhead could have gotten this wrong. Hold on.
You must be capable of violence.
I must have missed it.
When that's what Republicans are pushing us towards. Both sides have to be willing to come up here. Civility can't happen on one side.
True. This is why this is my model. I've had this model since 48 hours ago, okay? So you must be capable of civility with every person who engages in civility with you. You must be capable of violence and engaging with anybody who's engaging with violence with you. But this should be righteous, defensive, and legal violence. It should not be assassination, which I would put in the genocide left, genocide right thing. That's where you're trying to create a scenario in which you are winning and the opponent is losing. That's why they don't want to engage in that game. So even within Steven's own framework, like I don't agree with what he's saying. And then also, he's saying that he prefers mutually assured destruction over civil war. But who can say, like, during a...
No, you fucking moron! You fucking moron! Steven prefers civil war over genocide. Steven prefers civil war over genocide. Like, that's the entirety of his point. Like, how could you not get it? Like, it's so frustrating to see, like, this guy try to process things. Like, what the fuck? He's not even understanding what he's saying. Oh!
War, why are you incapable of being magnanimous with your enemies? That's where you're being civil. Civil war. Why can't we be civil during the civil war? Is my question to Stephen.
What? What? Like, do you agree when Vosh says that Kyle Rittenhouse should have submitted to the mob? I'm just so curious. I'm just so fucking curious, because there's no fucking way to me that Connor agrees that Kyle Rittenhouse should have submitted to the mob, right? Like, when is the right answer here for Kyle Rittenhouse to, like, lay down his AR-15 and to, like, hope that the people that are going after him are like completely like are just completely passive and not going to harm him? Like, like, is he? I'm sorry, that's crazy. That's insane to me, okay? You can't just submit to the mob. Like, just literally, what he's advocating for is submitting to the mob. That's fucking unhinged. Like, I'm sorry, that's insane. He's, like, literally oh my god, to fuck me, dude. Oh, so stupid.
If Dems don't back down, does a stalemate occur? No, you just stay here in the violence area. We need to demand civility from Republicans then. In my opinion, I think that Trump doing a unilateral call, or at least a both sides call for reducing rhetoric, not just on the...
Like, if Connor was bad faith, maybe I would be like, maybe I wouldn't be as mad, right? But the problem is that Connor is just is a moron. He's a moron, right? He doesn't even understand the point. Like, he is being good faith, right? He thinks he is being good faith, absolutely. He's not like, but he doesn't understand what Steven is talking about.
Dems, but on both sides, I think that should be conditional of a government shutdown. I think that that's one of the demands and I think that's an easy demand, and it should be rhetorically popular with at least 60% of the country. Donald Trump should be able to come out and speak for at least 2 to 5 minutes and say that everybody needs to calm the fuck down. Not just Democrats, everybody. Without blaming Dems, without talking about Antifa, without talking about Joe Biden, everybody.
Okay.
Surely
Connor agrees with that, right?
If they come back to cooperation first. Sure, yeah. Yeah, because you can logically relate to the betrayal thing over and over again if the other person's never willing to cooperate. Because logically that is your best move. You can't cooperate while the other person defects over and over and over again. You can't do that. It's a losing strategy. It's a super mega losing strategy. It's worse than the violent one. Destiny, what if...
Nobody said unilateral surrender of the left. Nobody fucking said this. Nobody has said this. I've never said this. No liberal has said this. Hutch hasn't said this. Pisco hasn't said this. Josiah hasn't said this. Nobody said this. That's where I don't understand why he can say that, like, there are currently liberals and progressives and leftists who are calling for a unilateral surrender of all political power by the left. That hasn't happened. I don't understand why he thinks that's the position that we're in right now, or that people are pushing for that. I don't understand.
About civil war, does that live under violence and is acceptable? Yes, civil war, again, it sucks and it's not popular to say. Civil war is up here, okay? Civil war is not the worst outcome.
It can be when you lose. Civil war can...
No, you fucking moron. Civil war implies that both sides are fighting a war. What? War does not equal execution. Like, we're not saying, like, nobody would ever say that the Jews were fighting a civil war against the Germans. Nobody would ever say the German Jews are fighting a civil war against the German Nazis, right? Nobody phrases it like that. What the fuck are you talking about?
100%. You can start in the 33 and end up in the 5-0. That's unironically what happened to the Confederacy. The Confederacy started in the American Civil War in the, we're not going to take it. You're not going to take our black people. You're not going to ban slavery in the Western United States. If you want our slaves, come and take it. And then the Union was like, bet, we're going to fucking shoot you full of lead balls. And so we started in the 33 where it was contested. And then eventually the Confederacy lost due to the superior logistics of the federal government and the Union North. And the Union North ended up winning the Civil War. So the whole point of what I'm trying to say, and what everybody I know is trying to say, is that you need to be ready for 33 and you to be...
By the way, when was the last time we ever had, like, a civil version of a civil war, right? Connor is saying that why not? Why shouldn't we be civil during a civil war? Like, what are you talking about? Wasn't the Civil War, like, one of the bloodiest wars throughout, like, American history? Like, more than World War II? Like, wasn't it known for that? Like, wasn't the Civil War literally known for being one of the most uncivil wars? because of how brutal the casualties are? Like, because they were using traditional tactics with upgraded guns? Basically, during the Revolutionary War, they used the whole, like, firing line tactics. Or some shit. But yeah. Still the most violent war in American history. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. The Civil War was America's bloodiest conflict. The unprecedented violence of battles such as Shiloh, Antietam, Stones River, and Gettysburg shocked citizens and international observers alike. Nearly as many men died in captivity during the Civil War as were killed in the whole of the Vietnam War. The numbers of Civil War dead were not equaled by the combined toll of other American conflicts until the war in Vietnam. Some believe the number is as high as 850,000. The American Battlefield Trust does not agree with this claim. Civil War, 620,000 at least, has died. World War II, 405,000 Americans. World War I, 116,000 Americans. So yeah, it's not like not even World War II is as close as the Civil War in terms of American casualties. What are you reading? AI? No, I'm reading off from battlefields.org. Yeah, it's by the organization American Battlefield Trust. Yeah. Cool.
Ready for 11. Okay, like I get that I'm not calling out these boxes correctly based off of their labels. You need to be ready for 33 defensively, legally, but you need to be pushing for 11 with all of your might, heart, and soul. Okay? And so what's going to happen is if you say, well, fuck it, you don't want
Who am I, a conservative? Using ChatGPT? You think too little of me, okay? Kidding. Okay, I sometimes use AI, okay?
to meet me in 11, so I'm only going to engage in 33, then you're making it an increased probability that you're going to end up in the 0-5 loss sum game. So I actually think that even within his own framework, he's playing the game wrong.
This is the worst outcome. And I know it sucks and it feels bad to say it, but this outcome here is still preferable to the unilateral laying down of arms. Ask any group of people that have been genocided before. Because the problem is right now, and this is a question I've asked, I think for years, is what is the line?
What do I look like? Doing Asmongold levels of research? Psh, give me a break, okay? I'm not asking Grok.
In the sand. And right now, I've never heard a Republican give one. I've never heard a conservative give one. And it doesn't seem like Trump has one. There are no breaks. I have not seen any.
Lethal Lance, don't tell me how to run my content. You watch all the other content that I create without complaint. Don't tell me how to run my fucking content.
Jesus.
I love you, but that's annoying as fuck.
Whoa.
Thing where Trump's been like, oh, maybe this one went a little bit too far. Maybe we want to.
What, then just ban them? Like, what the fuck? By the way, I don't know how other streamers... I honestly don't know how other streamers, like, manage to tolerate, like, annoying chatters who tell you how to run your fucking content, or tell you, like, what you're supposed to watch or what you're supposed to do, alright? Like, if anybody told me that, like, they're already out of my chat a long time ago, and that's the reality of it. I don't want you in my community if you're gonna be that parasocial, okay? That's creepy, that's weird, okay? Not saying that's entirely creepy or weird or whatever the fuck, but, you know, you can just always press the X button and, like, go watch something else, okay? But yeah, no, I totally get that. But the thing is that, like, again, I just have, like, zero tolerance for that shit.
I haven't seen it. I don't know what that line in the sand is.
Cool.
Okay, you want to watch tit for tat? Same thing, basically. Destiny streamer tit for tat. Let's see if there's a clip. This debate I watched. War is coming. The actually don't know anything. Is this the one that you want? Trump's lawyer, attorney defends his client against Destiny. Destiny's son exiles a sneaky Drew Pavlu. Voss triggers the fuck out of him. Is it this one? I mean, I'll pull up this clip, and then I guess I'll pull up this one, just so we make a longer segment out of it. But again, I don't agree. I don't think he's presented a single fucking thing
if
that
you're right,
3-minute clip.
And I don't think you are, but
I demand that you continue to stream gaming videos and commentary. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, that's what I do.
let's say you are, then what is the best thing that a Democrat should do right now?
Wait, did he watch that clip? Tit for tat should have been in there. It doesn't seem like he watched the entirety of the clip. Dude, he just understands.
Your
Are you
moral
advocating that a
obligation.
Democrat-
Your moral obligation is to fight whatever way you can until the other side is ready to go back to
Are there
civility.
any limits on that?
It's what you match. It's tit for tat.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, tit for tat?
Gen Z attorney has a real big boy job, which is why he's not going to say what I'm going to say. Okay. So let's see what they say, and then I'll say it for Gen Z attorney if he can't say it.
It's tit for tat. You match whatever they're
The
doing.
most successful
I think we know what that
biological,
means.
that's the most successful survival pattern that's ever been discovered in all of computer science and all of evolutionary history. Yes, every other strategy is defeated. Yeah.
We can caveat and say in a video game, but I think we know exactly
think
what
he
that means.
watched
If it's
before
tit for tat, well, what was the
commenting.
tit that just happened? Which means
No,
what is
he
the
saw
pattern
the-
response?
No, he literally saw Destiny illustrate and explain the game theory thing, but, like, I thought it was so clear, like, what Destiny was talking about. Like, I thought it was so obvious. But, like, I'm just kind of flabbergasted that, like, Connor didn't know the point that Destiny was getting at. Like, I'm just flabbergasted. I don't understand. You watched the same thing I did. What the fuck?
Okay, and
Like, how is Counterpoints not a retard? Like, he is actually a retard.
what Gen Z attorney is saying, which he's not going to reinforce because I've already seen this clip, is that the tit that just happened was an alternative media figure of the right who was super popular, was just assassinated. So the tat for that is a super popular right-wing or left-wing alt media creator needs to be killed if we're playing tit for tat.
I think he made up his mind before finishing and watching Destiny to the drawing and explanation. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, okay, I see. You're saying he has preconceived opinions that he is already hedging in his mind before he watches the explanation, right?
Okay. Now, Destiny can argue that the Minnesota State
Yeah, I know
House
what you're
representative being assassinated by a Trumper was the tit, and Charlie Kirk getting assassinated is the tat. But when we don't agree on the evidence surrounding those scenarios, then it seems like we can endlessly excuse political assassination.
Excuse me?
That the Minnesota State House representative being assassinated by a Trumper was the tit, and Charlie Kirk getting assassinated is the tat. But when we don't, any media creator needs to be killed if we're playing tit for tat. Okay. Now, Destiny can argue that the Minnesota State House representative being assassinated by a Trumper was the tit, and Charlie Kirk getting assassinated is the tat. But when
no, it's fucking not. No, that's tit. That's not tit tat. That's tit. I can't tell if he's like trying to be retarded on purpose right now. I can't tell. Oh my god.
we don't agree on the evidence surrounding those scenarios, then it seems like we can endlessly excuse political assassination because our political assassinations are based and their political assassinations are cringe. So this is a totally, in my opinion, dipstick.
The reason why the Charlie Kirk thing is not a tat is because because it's the right-wingers that are perpetrating the violence. It's because it's the right-wingers that are the ones that are primarily escalating the rhetoric for violence. Okay? We're not talking about a shooting version of tit for tat, right? When Destiny is talking about it. Destiny is talking about a dialogue version of tit for tat. He's talking about rhetoric that commentators should push for. He's talking about the tone that the media should set for the conversation, right? He's not talking about shootings as in tit for tat. He's not pro-shooter. He's not pro-shooter. Why would you interpret Destiny's tit for tat as an example where it implies that he's pro-shooter, right? He's not pro-Charlie Kirk shooter. Okay, he's not. Okay, so why the fuck are you interpreting it like this? You're so fucking stupid, dude. Oh my god.
Philosophy. I don't like it. I think it's stupid.
Is that not?
Dude, you know what? Neo Rapshot, I agree, okay? Connor should take less Tylenol, okay?
Not a problem?
Wait. Are you implying that
Fuck me.
that the
You
other
just
side?
said
Wait.
Yes, a right-winger was just shot. So based off of tit for tat, a left-winger should be shot. That's the logic of your worldview, Stephen.
right?
Yeah, are you implying that I'm
No, what the
worried that Republicans are going to call for violence now? Because you know they've already all done that. What are you talking about?
Oops, I didn't know what I picked.
Okay, and I'm saying the tit for tat. We've had the tit, and now you're saying that what has to come next is the tat.
And the tat would be a left-winger getting killed.
And
I love tits.
Yeah, and that's where we've been for 10 years since 2016. Is the back and forth. Yeah, and the other side is unwilling to return to civility.
So yeah, I would look though at who have been the most effective political leaders as far as actually effectuating real change in the country, really throughout its history. Is it the people? Just to take one example, was it MLK?
Okay, never mind, guy. Okay, you know how I said? Hold on. You know how I said that I think that Connor is still good faith. You know how I said that I thought Connor was still being good faith, even though he interpreted what Destiny was saying was wrong. I would like to take that back. Okay, I would like to take that back. Okay, Connor's not being good faith. This is bad faith. Okay, there is no way in good faith you could interpret as Destiny being pro-shooter. This is not a good faith fucking interpretation. I'm sorry, it's not a good faith interpretation to imply that Destiny is pro-shooter according to his worldview. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah,
It was a Malcolm X.
True. MLK was he might be dead, but he was infinitely more influential than fucking Malcolm X.
So the one who said, let's actively practice civil disobedience as we're being hosed down, as we're getting dog set on us.
Because it appealed to Christian morality, and most of the country have some intuitive sense of Christian morality.
We're going to remain unerringly peaceful in the face of this horrific violence because that is what's going to garner sympathy and win people to our side and persuade hearts and minds.
wait, who said that? Hello? Did Connor just say that? Because that was the most retarded fucking statement I've ever heard.
He might be dead, but he was infinitely more influential than fucking Malcolm X.
Not this
So
one.
the one who said, let's actively practice civil disobedience as we're being hosed down, as we're getting dog set on us.
Because it appealed to Christian morality, and most of the country have some intuitive sense of Christian morality.
Wrong. Most of the country does not have some like semblance of Christian morality. Okay, that's fucking retarded. Okay, what most of the country has is vibes. Okay, and generally they think of, honestly, you know what most of the country thinks? They think tit for tat. That's what they think. Most of the country thinks that revenge is probably okay if somebody did it to you first, right? Like, most of the country would forgive if you did some version of revenge, right? If your neighbor was, like, pulling up signposts, like, you also deserve to also pull up their signposts. Yeah, Americans are pretty bloodthirsty, okay? So, no, I don't think the country, including atheists, by the way, are dictated by Christian morality, okay? Like, you're so fucking stupid. Oh, my God. Don't get confused. He's saying that because he inherently believes the good comes from God. Yeah, that's retarded. What? Like 70% of America is Christian. Okay.
We're going to remain unerringly peaceful in the face of this horrific violence because that is what's going to garner sympathy and win people to our side and persuade hearts and minds. Was it that guy who got massive legislation passed, or was it the guy saying, no, actually, you know, they've oppressed us, they've shot us, they've killed us, they've lynched us. It's time to take up arms and defend ourselves, which is the mentality that
MLK's attachment to nonviolence was a strategy that was effective because people could accurately perceive that one side was attacking the other. Right now, you have an entire media apparatus that is lying to the entire country about who's committing the violence, about who's radicalizing everybody. They are unable to perceive what's actually happening. That's the issue. Again.
Listen, bro, I'm all about saying that disproportionately violence comes from the right. I'm all about saying that, like, Dylan Roof and the grocery store shooter and a bunch of mass shooters are white nationalists or ethno-supremacists. I'm all about that shit, okay? However, the people kind of dismiss that as, oh, these are schizophrenics doing schizo shit. And then when it comes to BLM and the violence of BLM, I don't agree with this, but I hear liberals and Democrats and progressives saying this all the time. They're like, oh yeah, well, it was realistically a protest, and all the homicides that resulted during the BLM movement, not only were they statistically rare, but also they were crimes of opportunity, not of political motivation. And so the right wing is able to dismiss mass shooters as one-off schizophrenics. The left wing is able to dismiss the Summer of Love as a majority peaceful movement. And so as a result, these things that we should be evaluating for a tit for tat metric are not. So okay, hold on. Just as an example.
What?
The left wing engaged in tit during the Summer of Love 2020. Okay.
What the fuck is the Summer of Love?
Rioted. They protested for months, but they also rioted. And they also did billions of dollars in property damage, and also around 35 people got killed. So in order to demonstrate.
The Summer of Love was a major social phenomenon that occurred in San Francisco during the summer of 1967. 1967? Is that the standard he's talking about? What are you talking about? Some fucking... Oh my god, dude, I killed
what the right wing felt like they were going through at the moment. Should they have taken 6 months in order to riot, do $1 billion worth of damage, and kill 35 people through crimes of opportunity? Obviously fucking not. And then same thing with January 6th, 2021. So the right wing lied about the election. Donald Trump lied about the election. He said that we're on the verge of losing our republic, and if Mike Pence does,
cons call BLM Summer of Love. Oh, ironically. Oh, okay, I see. Dude, I'm sorry. Wow, look at all the fucking Democrats advocating, being pro-riot. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy, isn't it? All the Democratic politicians being pro-riot. Wow, isn't that crazy? That's insane. Wow, you're right.
doesn't vacate
Whoa.
the electors and do a recount, then we're going to lose our republic.
I'm so glad that defund the police is still alive as a movement. Oh, wait, it's not. Okay, Jesus Christ.
And the right wing did a riot that threatened the peaceful transfer of power within the United States. As lefties, as liberals, progressives, and Democrats, in order to do tit for tat, should you guys go to Washington, D.C. right now, throw a riot, beat up on some cops, have a few cops die from suicide and cardiovascular issues? Obviously fucking not. It's so obvious. Why? No, absolutely not. This is stupid. I can't wait to get to your guys' steelman positions of what Steven's saying, because I unironically do not believe this. And I think it makes the world a worse place.
And over 80% of conservatives right now don't even believe in the results of the 2020 election. MLK's strategy only worked because people actually saw what was happening, and you didn't have a whole AI system.
I think that's ahistorical as well. I think that's ahistorical. I don't think there was a universal national consensus on whether or not MLK was a good guy until after his death.
Of fucking Russian bots and all this other crazy conservative shit who have all decided, I guess we could fucking lie as long as we, spread our message. That's the difference. If people couldn't actually perceive MLK, the children and everything getting attacked by dogs and shit, then it would have been a dog shit strategy.
Here, Gen Z, let me put it this way, okay? Pacifism only works as a tactic if your opponents actually have a moral compass, right? Like Gandhi worked against the British Empire. He would not have worked against the German Empire because there's a difference in how these two enemies operate.
Real quick, Mick says, Counterpoints politics. I feel like there's too much focus on him, not a disavowing. It needs to be more focused on the narrative instead of us being apologetic. We need to play the Republican blame game. Yeah, sure. Just say it's a bunch of left-wing schizos. Say, oh, no. This was a freak leftist. They have nothing to do with us. I disavow. They're pieces of shit.
Oh my
Real
God.
serious for 200 ARS, which I don't know what that is. I unironically suggested that.
Dude. Sorry, I was spamming Destiny's DMs too much, like, during this. Dude, I was so mad.
He should advocate for militias the way the right used to, and he should convince progressives to support 2A, Malcolm X style. Essentially, the left needs to stay sane, but grow some massive balls. Real serious, I'm with you, bro. You guys have given me a shitload of cash today. Again, I'm super sad that Charlie Kirk had to die for me to make some serious cash. It's super fucking annoying. I don't like that. But let's say that I had like a 6-figure income. Let's say that we're a year from now or something like that. I will take 10% of my income and I will do disaster relief volunteer efforts the way that I did during Hurricane Ian. But not just that. I would love to buy guns and ammo and teach liberals how to shoot. Because I don't care if you're a liberal or a Republican. As long as you care about preserving the Republic of the United States, I'll show you how to defend yourself. I'll show you how to run an AR-15, how to clean an AR-15. I'll show you how to run a Glock, how to clean a Glock. I'll show you how to run a Mossberg 500 and how to clean a Mossberg 500. I'll show you all that shit. And then I'll teach you how to operate in rooms and work with malfunctions. And I am almost uniquely positioned, not uniquely positioned, but I am positioned as a political commentator in order to, as a former law enforcement officer and as a former military member, I am pretty well positioned in order to give you endless amounts of advice on self-defense and like legal and extra legal violence. Now, the extra legal violence, I'm going to be telling you, don't do it. But I can still give you a lot of insights on how extra legal violence operates. So,
Dude, I don't understand Connor, dude. Like, on one hand, he's like, yeah, I don't agree with Steven's tit for tat, but I want to have all ways to avoid civil war. I want to avoid civil war in all of its fucking form, right? And on the other hand, it's like, oh, wait, hold on. Guys, I'm going to teach you guys how to shoot a gun, okay? Don't worry, guys, okay? That has nothing to do with today's times.
Truly, this is the dankest dungeon.
Yo, Velvet Von BLK. Thank you so much for the kick sub. Jesus Christ, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah. How's that not Fed posting to say that you're gonna teach everyone how to shoot a gun? Like, I don't like, what the fuck? Hello?
oh, yeah. Once again, just to kind of bring this home, because I think we've been all over the place and I've effectively said that I don't believe Steven and I think he's wrong. I think Steven thinks that he says he's violating for this in order to avoid this. I'm advising to do both of these simultaneously. Then I think that Steven's rhetoric is counterproductive and inflames the right wing in order to
No, that's not. No, what, dude? You still don't get it. You still literally do not get it. You don't get the graph. It's the incorrect graph. The graph is not correct. The graph is of the graph is of a disproportionate amount of incorrect disinformation, not disinformation and misinformation, okay, that is applied to such a template, okay?
A push for a scenario in which they all win. But realistically, I'm advocating for staying in the mutually assured destruction category and then constantly pushing to get back to avoiding a civil war. So again, like tactically, we might agree on what we want to achieve, but tactically, I think Steven's making a mistake.
Oh
I think he's making a mistake, and I think he's making the problem worse.
You cannot simply lie down and let your opponents destroy you and hope.
Nobody's advocating for that. Nobody said that. No liberal said that. I guarantee you. Josiah didn't say that. Pisco didn't say that. I didn't say that. Hutch didn't say that. IRI didn't say that. Frickin' Straight Array didn't say that. There's not a single person on the left who said condemning extra legal and extrajudicial violence means giving up your ability to participate in politics or to engage in legal defensive violence. I have no idea where this perspective is coming from. I don't think Tally said that. I don't even think Dev said that. I don't know where the fuck this point is coming from. It's a bad point.
No, it's a good point because by disavowing, you're confessing to the crime. In addition to confessing to the crime, you're also saying that I disagree with the imaginary crime that I have committed, right? That's what's happening right now, right? The other side is framing you for this crime, and you're just accepting the framing. You're accepting the fact that you are being framed, and you're just running with it, right? In all reality, right? So yeah, that is a surrender. How is that not a surrender? You're pleading guilt. You're literally pleading guilt. How is that not a surrender? You're pleading guilt.
Your suffering moves their hearts. Not if their hearts aren't going to be moved.
Okay. Somebody said that there was one more I should check out.
The suspect, in this case, had a furry fixation, meaning that he was fixated on this very online, very weird subculture of the internet in which people sexualize animals. Fetishize people dressed as animals. And he had a trans boyfriend, which of course is not surprising in any way, shape, or form.
Boyfriend, girlfriend? We don't even know. They have no idea. One thing that I've said that's very frustrating, and maybe there are journalistic reasons that my mind just can't comprehend that don't matter to the end of the destruction of this planet, and there's some stupid code of ethics or whatever journalists, these retards hang on to that makes so they can't publish this. If somebody were to publish the last 2 months of Discord logs of this guy in the room, people on the internet could...
No, I don't accept this. Christian Blair says, unfortunately, all libs and progressives are cucked on guns, and everyone doesn't want the far left to increase training in militias. Yeah, that's bullshit. Sorry, I'm not saying that... Sorry, I'm trying not to get angry. Listen, there is a broad... Here's... Fuck, I need to do another painting. Here is the spectrum of gun violence, okay? Here is the United Kingdom, where you have to register your butter knives. Here is the United States, where you can own a tank with 105mm cannon with the right paperwork. There's probably like Ethiopia, right? Or Somalia. So let's go ahead and reduce the size. This is the United Kingdom. Need permit for steak knives. Okay. This is the United Kingdom, in my opinion, on civilian firearms ownership. Then I would say there's probably Switzerland, where you probably have pretty strict gun laws, but state-issued assault rifles. Then you have... Well, actually, let's move that more towards the center, I suppose, because there's a bunch of other cucked European nations right there. Then I would say, in the U.S., we actually strike a pretty good balance between private civilian arms ownership and self-defense. You can own a tank with a permit, and then there's Somalia. Somalia, you can own a tank without a permit. Because there is no government. So
what? Okay, I thought Somalia had a provisional government right now, despite the unrest. I mean, it's like it's one of the most dangerous countries in the world to be in right now. Q is fine because he's fucking wealthy in there. But the thing is that I thought like, yeah, I thought they did have a provisional government, or whatever.
In the reference of violence, okay. Even if you're in the United States, and you think, oh, I don't really like guns. Like maybe I think for self-defense, maybe they're justified, or maybe I think that, 3-gun is kind of cool, or I want to learn how to be a cowboy or something like that. There are 10,000 freaking things that I can teach you within this realm of acceptable gun opinions within the United States. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to draw more lines. I'm just going to put 10,000 things. So even if you're somebody who doesn't like guns, 10,000 things I can train you on. So even if you don't like guns, even if you think they should only be used for self-defense, even if you think AR-15s are scary, even if you want to be a cowboy shooter where you exclusively shoot guns that are 150 years old, there are 10,000 things that I can teach you in order to be competent within the spectrum.
I'm so
to
confused.
say that just because you don't like guns, you need to be a cucked UK person, I think is bullshit. I think it's total cope, total bullshit. Gun spectrum cope. And so, no, you don't need to be a Somali where you own rocket-propelled grenades without a government permit because you don't have a government. You don't need to be an AR-15 gun person. You don't need to be a revolver person. There's 10,000 things to learn right here, and you don't need to be Swiss, and you don't need to be the UK. So, fuck that is what I have to say to Christian Valerius.
Instantaneously tell you exactly where this guy comes.
He's saying he can teach people how to shoot guns. Okay, wait, what does this have to do with the Charlie Kirk discourse? I'm confused. Like that's what I'm confused by. Like, is like what the relation to with this versus Steven's opinions and take, I guess. Like I'm confused where he's going with this.
From.
Sorry.
I don't trust any journalist, to be quite frank, especially none of these media
Hippopotaman, thank you for becoming a member.
Pundits who are all super bought into a super narrative to try to ascertain the political identity of the person based on trying to read a few logs of whatever, right? Because there's
his prescription is for people to act like E. Warren. Well, I don't know who E.
For
Warren
the Civil
is.
War.
Who's E. Warren? E. Warren. Like Elizabeth Warren? What? What are you talking about? Use more descriptive words.
For the record, I think Connor gun streams would go really hard. I think Connor gun videos would go extremely hard, okay? Just to clarify, I would 100% advocate for that kind of content, okay? I think it would go hard. I do think it'll go hard, okay? Just don't get demonetized or some shit, okay?
Can says, it's so disheartening.
You've been my favorite lately, happily switching from YouTube to Kick for streams. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Yes, that's so nice. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I really like Dusty and the way his mind works and analyzing an issue, but he's destroying himself with stupid decisions. Listen, there, but for the grace of God go I. We all have cringe takes every now and then. Your favorite streamer is allowed to have a bad take every now and then. It's fine.
So much irony. There's so much memery, right? Like I even saw people say, like people were saying things like, oh, well, the bullet said, if you read this, you're gay, LMAO. Well, an LGBT
lol based
person would never say that, so he must be right-wing. Bullshit. You can find plenty of ironic LGBT people that would say something exactly like that. If you read this, you're gay.
True.
LOL, right? Or for the Bulgy-Wulgy thing, like, oh, well, Bulgy-Wulgy, that's anti-trans or pro-trans. No, not necessarily. This could literally come from Fuentes' community. Jokes about femboys and trans shit a ton, right? We joke about Bulgy-Wulgy trans shit sometimes. Like, that used to be the meme. I had to ban it from my Discord because it was so annoying. What was it? Is a trans person gay or traps gay or whatever? Like, that's a meme that was like ubiquitous through so many online communities. This idea of people trying to say like, oh, he was a furry, oh, he belonged to this. Like, I would need to see the logs. I want to see, just show us like 2 months of logs and you'll be able to tell so fast how he speaks about things, how he jokes about things, what communities he was a part of. But this like leak of like 1 or 2 statements, every 12 hours, where it's like, I don't know what the fuck this means. Reform.
Bass and Bulbous is absolutely correct. $5. Thank you for the super chat, King. Connor's political life for the past decade. Clowns to the left of me, jokers on the right. Here I am stuck in the middle with you, dude, and I am paying the price.
The slogans that were etched apparently on bullets were all gamer and or trans-oriented slogans. Notice his bulge, OWO, for example.
Sorry, I do think that's funny. Obviously, Charlie Kirk getting murdered, total cringe. But the fact that there were memes on the bullets that if I was shot by a bullet, marked on the side of the bullet was, if you're looking at this, you're gay. Even though I would be dead, so I wouldn't be capable of knowing that, I would be embarrassed of having been murdered by that bullet.
According to the New York Post,
like, I don't even know if that's necessarily a trans thing. Notice as Bulgy-Wulgy. I feel like that's more of like not like an LGBT trans thing. I feel like that's more of like a girl, like 4chan. Like, I went to this girl the other day and she took her pants off.
Dreamcast says, Connor, there's a difference between virtuous civility and being passive to the other side's aggression. Yeah, I agree.
When I was shattered because she didn't have a like, I feel like it's more like I don't even know what I'd call that necessarily, like an LGBT community meme or trope, right? But again, I don't have to say context,
Oh my God, Lethal Lance and Fashion 40, shut the fuck up. My analysis was perfectly fine and in line with what Steven said. I pause every other video I talk about, where I pause every few minutes and I contend with what's being said.
Yeah, but you're not even correct. I wonder if anybody in Connor's chat at the moment is like correcting him. I mean, like, I'm too lazy to check. Okay, I'm just too lazy to check. But like, the thing is that like Connor is just not right. Like, his interpretation of Steven's points is entirely incorrect. And in addition, he is also bad faith, right? he implies that due to Stephen's worldview, the worldview supports the conclusion that if you advocate for tit for tat, then Charlie Kirk deserves to be shot, right? But that's not what Stephen is talking about whatsoever. Stephen is talking about rhetoric. Stephen is talking about media presentation. Stephen is talking about how to do this rhetoric in front of the media. Is talking about, like, he's talking about tit for tat dialogue wise, right? Yeah, because and again, it's not even equal either, because if you consider the Minnesota shooting to be tit, and that's inspired by right-wing violence, do you know what's also inspired by right-wing violence? You know what also inspires, like, right-wing, you know how the right-wing inspires violence? By also talking about it on their side as well, right? If you have escalatory right-wing violence, that's, like, especially when it comes to that, like, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think that even though if the shooter really was left-wing, like, we're just assuming that the shooter is left-wing, okay? So assuming that the shooter is left-wing, even though it's not fully proven 100% without the shadow of a doubt, right? Even showing that, I, like, this is still the ultimate result. This is still the ultimate result of right-wing escalations in violence. Absolutely, right? This is still the ultimate result of that, right? It just is. It is. It's not even equal. It's not fair. Yeah.
Almost immediately, but because it's your daddy Destiny and you've already pre-watched it, you can't just let me watch the content. Shut the fuck up. Like Lethal Lance, I love you. I parasocially love you. I enjoy having you on Twitter. I thank you for the backup on Twitter. Fashion 40, same thing. You pissed me off a few times, but I also love you, and you've super chatted even when you shouldn't have. But so I parasocially love both of you guys. But can you shut the fuck up? Like seriously, you only complain when I'm pausing and reacting to Destiny. But if I pause and react to any other creator, you let it ride.
Well, I don't know how these chatters operate in any other context, but I mean, again, Connor's just wrong. So, yeah, I would understand why the fuck they got pissy, I guess, in this specific context. But I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, they could just be pissy, but you know.
Come on, be consistent, please.
Alleged Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson appears to have a fixation on furries, while his live-in transgender boyfriend espoused support for President Joe Biden and joked about being mentally ill, according to social media posts linked to the pair.
Like, all of these things he's citing are like hearsay of hearsay and like reports of reports. Like, I don't know how true any of this is. Again, I haven't seen it explained. I don't know if anybody is explained it. Maybe the governor has, and I need to watch his speech. Did the person live away from home? Did the person actually live?
You guys are retarded. I hate this. Sorry for using an ableist slur, but you guys are fucking retarded.
Who cares?
Here we go. We'll do it again. And I need you to hear me when I say this, okay? Because you guys are, I got 300 people or almost 300 people, because plenty of DGG people are interested in DGG clout or DGG content, and not just that, but I am live on my home channel. So quick chill before we start. I'm live on Valor Media Network Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. I'm live on the Counterpoints Politics channel on Tuesdays. That's also where I post my VODs. So if you enjoy the content and you enjoy catching me live, then I want you to type in Valor, VALOR, Media, MEDIA, Network, common spelling, into your search bar, and I want you to subscribe to that channel, and I want to see you tomorrow, okay? However, some of you are DGG dick riders, and while we are parallel communities, we are not the same thing. And so I'm not going to accept from lefties, ooh, woo, we're so cute, we did nothing wrong, lol, everyone who's mad about anything we've ever done is a fucking cuck. Nope, not accepting this bullshit, okay? So I have sins of the right, and I will admit that the right wing, in my opinion, is infinitely more egregious than the left in their negative impact, okay? I agree with that. However, just look at this. There's like 14,200,000 people who are going to die on the sins of the right wing. But that does not mean the left wing is without sin. Okay? And if you don't think...
But what is the point of pointing out the left wing's sins if the right wing won't point out their own fucking sins, right? Like, the only reason why you know about the 14 million point is probably it came from left-wing sources. And Destiny does count as a left-wing source, right? The thing is that, like, you can't, like, you're not holding yourself to the same standard that the right wing is doing to themselves. It's silly. It's silly. That's how they have a winning battle. They have a winning battle because by the way, in case you guys haven't forgotten, I'm sorry if I'm ruining you guys. I'm sorry if I'm ruining your night with this one, okay? But Trump is going to be here for more than 3 years, okay? From here on onwards. Whether it be through his spirit or whether it be through his actual fucking body, all right? Because who knows how long he's going to live, okay? Who knows? Okay, he's pretty old. All right, but you know, his health is possibly ailing. Okay, but I'm just saying that if JD Vance takes over as president, like, do you think things will improve? Like, do you really think things will improve after JD Vance takes over as president? You think he's going to be a reasonable Republican? Stephen Miller being the vice president, really? So you want you want someone like Stephen Miller to be president? Are you okay with that? Really?
That the right wing excuses their bad behavior by pointing out all of your flaws.
I don't know if
You're
Stephen Miller is going to be
coping.
president, okay?
Okay.
I mean, vice president.
So the point is, you don't make this list unnecessarily longer than it needs to be. It's very simple. I'm not even going to read you all this shit. Read it on your own time. Pause the screen and take a look.
Oh, sorry. The order of succession is right. So vice president, and then Speaker of the House. So Mike Johnson. Good luck. Okay. So Vice President Mike Johnson. Are you okay with Vice President Mike Johnson? Really? Vice President Mike Johnson. Come on. Come on, dude. Come on.
But if you don't think trans and drag people reading to kids in sexually suggestive ways, if you don't think the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, the successful assassination of Charlie Kirk, the attempted assassination of Nick Fuentes, if you don't think taking over academia and pop culture to the point that people
okay with
half the
that?
population feels alienated and feel like they're constantly presented as the enemy, if you don't understand this, then you don't understand modern politics.
Oh
And you're looking for me to fucking jerk you off and tell you that you've never done anything wrong. This is what you're looking for, by the way. This is what you're looking for to the DGGers who saying, oh, Destiny's.
No, I mean, you're allowed to be yourself, but the problem is that you're incorrect. No one is telling you to not be a conservative. No one is telling you to not have conservative ideals. It's fine to do that, but the thing is that you're just incorrect, right? And if you're incorrect, then people have a problem with you being incorrect. Like, why the fuck should people let you up? Like, Jesus.
Base, he never
Stop
does anything
being whiny.
wrong. His perspective is perfectly coherent. You're coping, lol. Like, here's you. Let me
You're just
pull up this clip.
incorrect. Like, what do you want people to say? Like,
Hold on. Okay, just making sure.
hey,
I've never done anything wrong in my life. This is you. This is you.
I have done nothing wrong ever in my life.
I know this, and I love you.
That's what you want. This is what you want from me. I'm going to play this one more time just to emphasize this. This is DGG, and to some extent, Destiny. This is what you want me to do for you.
I have
Connor,
done
you're
nothing
retarded.
wrong ever in my life.
I know this, and I love you.
You want me to be Henry Winkler, and it's not going to fucking happen. So if you're looking for that, go find some fucking liberal circle jerk fucking hell site for you guys to jerk off. I'm sorry, I'm being really rude.
Thank you, Connor.
Go find a hug box somewhere else. I'm not your hug box.
At school, did he have a dorm? Because all I've seen explained so far is that he lived from home for a while and did remote learning. I don't know if he even lived outside of his house ever.
Yes, we have a Discord. I'll post it momentarily.
Lance Twigs, 22, an aspiring pro gamer, and Robinson's roommate, appeared to have made a comment in a 2022 Reddit post stating we are riding with Biden on this glorious subreddit. Twigs is transitioning from male to female and was in a relationship with the 22-year-old Robinson. This is according
I feel like the bulgy wulgy thing is more furry than trans, but I mean, who knows?
to Governor Spencer Cox. By the way, Spencer Cox is a
It
rather right winger
is.
on this issue.
Yeah, it's more furry. Okay, is there anything else? Fuck me. If there's nothing else, then yeah, I kind of get the point. Like, yeah, Connor's just being a retard. That's really about it. Okay. All right. Something about Doobie and Pisco going at each other. Sorry. Oh yeah. So yesterday, right, I was asking people like, what's so wrong about Doobie, right? Like, what did Doobie do that's so incorrect? So somebody wrote me this like email-ish message. Okay, it was a message, but like, I mean, it's kind of like email, right? I don't care.